What's up everybody, welcome back, it's Derek here. Today's video we're going to be unboxing the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing. Yeah. Let's go ahead and tear into this box here. Samsung really, I mean, half of your box is already ripped open for such an expensive device. You probably want to put some safeguard materials in there sometime next time. So as we open the box, we have the trade-in instructions as well as the order for the receipts and whatnot. So let's go ahead and toss that right there. And then we have, I guess this is where the phone is, so nothing else in the box, pretty empty. And let's go ahead and unbox this thing. So lots of paper, lots of packing paper, which is good because I'm gonna recycle that. And then here we have it. So I did take advantage of Samsung's really good trade-in offers, and I was able to get a large amount of the S25 taken off. And then I also got some instant kind of credit stuff. So you could see here that Samsung already messed up my order because I got two of the same exact case. So not sure how that's gonna work out. I guess I might be giving one away to one of you all. And then here we can actually see the Samsung S25 Ultra. I do hope that they actually got the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra color correctly, because I did order the online exclusive. Samsung has just been minimizing the size of the cases for their smartphones for the last few years. I can pretty much guarantee you there is not going to be a charging brick inside of here. Considering how much you pay for it, it should include a charging brick. But here you can see the box is pretty thin. There are going to be two pull tabs on the top and the bottom of the back portion of the box. And that's, I guess, to simplify the unboxing process. So for those people like me who create YouTube content and they do some unboxings every now and then, I guess it's going to make my life easier. But honestly, why when I have this thing? Yeah, I know that's overkill. I should really just use the pull tab thing. For those of you who want to see the satisfying pull, here we are just for you all. So here's that pull. There you go. Honestly, this side's not too bad. It's a little caveman, but don't judge me. All right, so let's go ahead and pull the box off here, the top portion. We have the actual phone. You can see here, that's the jet black online exclusive color. And then there's this kind of paperwork type box in there, typical of Samsung or pretty much any smartphone carrier nowadays. Pull this out, there's nothing in there. This is empty now. Looks like we have nothing here. Oh, there is a SIM ejection tray pin thingy in here. I have like 12 of these things because I unfortunately upgrade my phones a lot. What can I say? I'm a tech enthusiast. Inside that little thingy that I just threw away, I have another USB-C to USB-C wire. Again, Samsung usually makes some really good wires. So this is going to come in handy for the 45-watt charging that this phone is capable of receiving. Here's some owner's manuals, things that we never really read. And then in the inside, there's nothing. So I ordered the jet black exclusive online color, and just like the way the light from my softbox over here is hitting it, it kind of gives off like this bluish, grayish, blackish color. And I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but it's sexy. All right, so let's go and take this thing out here. There's a little bit of a pull tab right here, and that is, I'm assuming, going to lift up the phone like so. And here we go. There is the phone. I mean, it's super cold. I guess it's been sitting in the UPS truck all day because it's snowing here in Seattle. And so it's the actual like kind of frame feels pretty cold. I don't know if that's gonna affect the battery or not. I have 14 days just in case I need to return it. And then there we go. There's nothing else in the box. It's just empty. Now, here we have the phone. The back is not going to be covered, but the front does have a little protection screen on it. So for those of you who want to see the satisfying peel, let's do it really quick. So the first thing I'm gonna say is that I haven't owned the Samsung Galaxy S series phone since the S23. I went from the S21 to the S23, the S23 to the Z Fold 6, and now the Z Fold 6 to this. So again, I am an upgrade enthusiast. I am not proud of it, kind of my thing, and now it's gonna get worse because I'm doing YouTube. And so I just wanna say that this phone comes in, I think, at 218 or 19 grams. It is ridiculously light. It almost feels like it's cheap just because of how light it feels. I mean, it feels so light, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a super premium feel, but it feels light. And so please, if you are looking to upgrade to this phone, don't misconstrue the lightness or the weight with the premium quality of the phone. But unfortunately, this phone has been creating a lot of waves in terms of controversy because there was a design change, there was some features taken away, and the internet out there is actually trying to figure out, is this phone actually an upgrade? Because a lot of people are out there right now who are just bashing this phone because for whatever reason, they're entitled to their opinion, and they also make some really good points. But I mean, for those of you who are wanting to upgrade this phone, because maybe you have a S10 Plus or a Note 10 or whatever, this is going to be a pretty significant upgrade to you. So first and foremost, it's your money. You decide that if you are going to buy this phone or not, or stay with the older phone, whatever it is. No one's judging you. And so if you are wanting to get this phone, go ahead and do it. If you want to stick with the older generation, more power to you. Again, it's your money. One of the things that I loved about the most recent change on the Samsung Galaxy S series phones is the fact that they got rid of the infinity display, mainly because it was really hard to put a screen protector on it. Let's just be real, the infinity display was really cool back in 2014 or whatever, but it got old. But with the S24 iteration that was released in 2024, Samsung went away with the infinity display and actually went with a flat display, which you can't see it right here, but I'll try to get some B-roll shots of it later. But this screen is 100% flat, so it's just going to substantially save you time, stress, and energy from having to install a screen protector. So two additional design changes that Samsung decided to do with the S25 Ultra is going to be the fact that the corners are a little bit more rounded comparatively to the S24 Ultra, where the corners were more squared off, which is a beautiful design. But I mean, I guess Samsung had to make it different in some way, right? Another thing that they changed in terms of design is the fact that the frame here is actually flat. You can actually like lay it down flat on the table and it's actually gonna stand up. And so the combination of it being flat on the side, as well as it being lighter, it feels really easy to hold. I mean, the squared off corners on the S24 Ultra were really good, but I did hear a lot of people say that it would dig into their palm. But with this one, I guess it's not going to dig into my palm as much because, again, it's not so sharp on the corners. Another design change that Samsung did that you can apparently see is going to be these massive camera modules, which, again, Samsung's not making very many friends these days because they didn't really upgrade the camera system. They only upgraded the ultra wide, which was kind of a nominal bump in upgrade anyways, but it is nonetheless a slight upgrade. But Samsung's not making friends because supposedly these lenses are just glued on. They're not like actually built into the frame of the actual phone. So there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos out there circulating showing that these lenses are going to be able to be replaced by like a razor. But I mean, honestly, I'm not actually going to purposefully try to remove the lens, so it's not really going to bother me. Samsung did increase the size of this. It went from a 6.8 display screen size from the S24 Ultra to a 6.9 inch screen display, which I'm not quite sure how they did it. I guess they reduced the bezels on the screen, which kept the frame mostly the same, but the actual screen and display ever so slightly larger, which I can't compare it to the S24 Ultra, so I mean, I'm just gonna have to drink the I Believe juice. On the bottom here, we have a USB-C port as well as your SIM tray slot. You can also see that there is a small slit for a speaker right there, and then here is that little ovular looking thing is going to be the S Pen, the infamous S Pen. The infamous S Pen apparently got a downgrade this year because even though you're still able to write with the S Pen, you are not able to do your Harry Potter stuff anymore because the Bluetooth is gone. The Samsung actually said 1% of the end user population doesn't use it, which, I mean, hey, if they got the metrics for it, I guess it's a cool thing. I never used the Bluetooth S Pen functionality. I mean, it's just something that I never used. I actually used the stylus as a stylus. I didn't do the whole Harry Potter stuff and do some Wingardium Leviosa type stuff because, I mean, that's my night job. Other than that, the volume rockers remained static in the same place, as well as the power button. And I mean, it's just a beautiful phone. It feels good. It's just really well designed. People are gonna say, well, you're really gonna trade in your Z Fold 6, the innovative revolutionary folding phone, for another slab candy bar phone? Yeah. So I actually use the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 as my daily driver. When I purchased the Z Fold 6 back in 2024, I thought I was going to love it. And it turns out 6 months, 7 months later, I really don't like it as much as I wanted to. I did make a long-term review on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. And so if you want to go ahead and watch that, you can watch that after this video, and maybe you'll see why I'm justifying having purchased the S25 Ultra and going to ultimately be trading in the Z Fold 6. I just like the traditional feeling of the phone, and plus the design language of the Z Fold 6 really just kind of got to me. The crease, the narrow screen, the battery life really just kind of killed me. All right, so let's go ahead and start this thing up here. I've heard some really good things about the display on the S25. So to turn it on, you press and hold the power button on the right-hand side over here, and then you see kind of the Samsung screen there, very typical of Samsung, and then it starts up. So I mean, honestly, I really love this flat screen. Letting go of the crease and the bad battery life and the subpar cameras on the Z Fold 6 is probably going to be one of my best decisions this year. Tech police, don't roast me. All right, so just looking at the screen here, I mean, it's a really nice screen. You do get that punch hole design at the top there, if you can see it. And honestly, I don't really see it. It's never really bothered me. I always felt like the punch hole cameras on the Samsung phones was actually pretty unique. Even the one that was pill-shaped on the S10, I think, the S10 Plus, where it was just like super weird. All right, so I've had the S25 Ultra for exactly 1 week now, and I've been putting it through its test. I've had the screen maxed out to its brightness with the QHD resolution display. I've been shooting a whole bunch of videos, and I've been playing all types of games, watching my media consumption. I've been taking notes, and I've been using it as a conference call phone, and I would just have to say that this phone has exceeded my expectation. And I would say the exceeding expectations part is subjective to me and also for you, because it really depends on what you're upgrading from. So if you have the S24 Ultra, I would say skip it, because this phone is pretty much the same thing when I looked at the specs. And then if you have something older like the S23 Ultra or the 22 Ultra, maybe you have something older, then this phone is definitely going to be an upgrade for you. All right, so now let's talk about the technical side without actually being technical. The battery life has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. It lasts me all day and then some. The processor, the Snapdragon Gen 8 Elite or something like that, that is phenomenal. I am able to get all of my processing done, my notes, my videos, everything without any type of stutter. The charging is wonderful. Sure, it's not as good as some of the other manufacturers out there, but 45 watt charging versus what I was getting on the Z Fold 6, I'll take it. The performance really continues to just blow my mind, because there is a thing called Community Day in Pokemon Go where it's just like hours of a certain type of Pokemon. And when those communities happen, my girlfriend and I typically are out playing Pokemon. And historically on my other phones, especially on my Z Fold 6, I had to carry around a battery charger, and that kind of became a normal for me. But I went out and did a whole few hours of Community Day with the S25 Ultra, with the screen on, GPS, I mean, everything that it takes to use Pokemon Go. The phone was doing fine. The battery didn't die on me. I never even got close. I think by the end of the Community Day, which is a few hours, I still had like 67% of battery life, which just like, whew. Another performance win for me in my books is going to be the fact that this phone, it never really gets hot. It maybe got hot once or twice during charging. And I mean, when I say hot, it was probably just elevated warm, not comparative to the Z Fold 6 or the Ultra phones that I had in the past. The cameras are cameras. They are really, really good. They take really good shots. They take really good videos. The software is super optimized and smooth. And I mean, even though the only real upgrade in terms of physicality for the S25 Ultra cameras is the ultra wide camera, everything else functions exactly as I hoped and actually better. All right, so as I was out and about doing B-roll shots for the S25 Ultra, I realized that I had forgotten how good the S series or the Ultra series phones were, like in terms of cameras, because I was comparing the camera quality from the S25 Ultra to the Z Fold 6, and it was just significant. Now, all right, I know that there are better camera quality phones out there, and then I'm actually using the S25 Ultra's front screen camera, or the selfie camera, right now, and I'm using my DJI mic's internal storage to get the audio. My DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is right here. I'd have to say that the camera quality between the Z Fold 6 and the S25, it's just kind of night and day. I forgot that with the S series or the Ultra series that I'm able to have really good zoom. I'm able to really capture some of those details. And I didn't know that I missed it until I started using the S25 Ultra again. When I bought the Z Fold 6 back in 2024, I actually thought that I didn't use the cameras on my phone as often as I do. And that didn't come to a realization until I actually started using the cameras on the Z Fold 6. I was never really happy with the Z Fold 6's camera, but I justified it. It takes decent enough pictures. And that's true. It does take decent enough pictures, but at the price point of the Z Fold 6, the cameras need to be better. And with the price point of the S25 Ultra, I mean, sure, it's still expensive, but I'm so much more happier with the cameras. So with that said, again, my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is right here. What do you think of the selfie camera? Because I'm sitting in my truck right now, and the selfie camera is the one that's recording this in gloomy Seattle weather. So I don't have the best kind of lighting in here. What do you think of the front display or the selfie camera recording? And also, I'm just using my DJI mic for the audio. So I want to say that the technical hardware specs of the S25 Ultra is only one part to consider when we're thinking about the device as a whole, because the other part is going to be software. So right out of the box, we know that this is running on a Google operating system, but it's also going to be using Samsung's proprietary One UI 7. And so I'd have to say that One UI 7 is a welcome change. I have always been a little bit jealous of how the simplicity of Apple's iOS is, but with One UI 7, it's kind of like having the aesthetics of an iOS device, but the customization of Android. And One UI 7 is actually one of Samsung's major graphically aesthetic overhaul compared to other operating system updates. The features and functionality of One UI 7 is it just works. Combining that with just the snappy behavior and functionality of the hardware specs of the actual device, I am very, very happy. Now, I can't necessarily end the video without talking more about the S Pen. So here again, remember the S Pen, you cannot do your Harry Potter stuff, right? You can go ahead and write on your S25 Ultra just like normal, but I do have some good news, is that if you have an S Pen like this from the Galaxy Tab series, or probably an older S23, S24, S22 S Pen. And so both of these older S Pens that have Bluetooth functionality, the good news is going to be the fact that Samsung is equal opportunity with making sure that no Bluetooth functionality works on the S25. The bad news is that these other styluses that I have from previous devices or other devices, they're just S Pens. Sorry to burst your bubble. Now, if you're one of those people who really use the Bluetooth functionality on the S Pen, I'll have to admit to you there is a workaround, and that's going to have to include one of these. Maybe not this Samsung Galaxy Watch specifically, but a Samsung Galaxy Watch in general. Within the Samsung Galaxy Watch 7 Ultra that I have right here, again, this is going to be able to be used on other Samsung watches. I can actually pull up the actual camera app, and then from there, I can then load whatever I'm seeing on my camera from my phone right here onto my watch. So let's see if I can give you a quick demonstration of that. All right, so here is the S25 Ultra. You can kind of see that I'm recording. And then here you could see the watch. So As I move my Samsung Galaxy S25, you can see it is a viewfinder on the watch. So let me flip this around, and now you get 2 videos of me. I mean, if one Derek wasn't enough, now you have 2. And so this is obviously not going to be the most cost-effective means of doing your Harry Potter stuff. I guess now, instead of pretending to be Harry Potter with your S Pen acting like a 1, now you're gonna be like Minority Report, where you're kind of like moving things all over the place because it's now on your watch. You're able to take pictures just as if you're going to use your Bluetooth on your S Pen, or you could switch to the video recording mode and then record. And again, it's a little bit cooler because of the fact that you're able to see what your phone is seeing on your watch. All right, so for instance, if you have your phone set up on a tripod over here, and then you and your family are over here, and you're trying to take that shot, you pull this bad boy out, or again, any Samsung Galaxy watch, you go ahead and press record or take a picture, and then your phone over here is automatically going to take a picture or record you and your family or your cat over here. Again, there is a caveat about that because that means you're gonna have to buy a watch if you don't already have one. But I mean, this is just like a continuity plan for those people who really loved having that Bluetooth functionality on their S. I'm not stating to go to Best Buy and go ahead and buy one of these Galaxy watches just for the sole fact of using it as a kind of camera functionality or wand thing. I'm just stating that there is somewhat of a continuity plan. Overall, I just want to bring this video to a close and state that this Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is exactly what I expect. It's a phone in 2025. Most of the phones in 2025 and like maybe even 2020, 22, 23, 24, the phones are just continuing to get better. They're able to have a longer shelf life. We've actually come to a place where cell phones like these have pretty much hit their peak. There's like diminishing returns now. You can get the S26 Ultra, the Z Fold 7, 8, or 9, and it's going to be relatively the same. So with that said, for me and for what I use this phone for, it's exactly what I needed. It's exactly what I wanted. The design, the feel, the comfort, the features, the functionality, the battery, the cameras is all better compared to what I was using on the Z Fold 6. There are going to be some follow-up videos and then kind of just like ongoing reviews as time goes on, because I know there are going to be a lot of people who get this phone in 3 months and they're going to Google or YouTube and say, is the S25 Ultra still a good phone in 2025? Yeah, and so I'm there for you. I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and log into all of my things on this phone, and then I'm gonna come back with a general opinion of how I feel this phone is in terms of first impressions. And then I also am going to be doing a video on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra cases, which I guess because Samsung decided to give me 2 of the exact same clear cases, which, I mean, whatever. I can do an unboxing for one of these cases, and then I can go ahead and give the other one away to one of you all. So make sure to stay tuned for that.